How's everybody doing? It's a wonderful Thursday evening or afternoon, 14th of October. And we're going to take a look at the markets and see what they are doing. If you have specific charts you'd like to have a look at, please let me know what charts those are. And we'll take a look at them, whether they are currency pairs or commodities, doesn't matter. We'll take a look at them and see what the charts are saying. We'll apply the Sherlock analysis process to those charts to discover what is taking place. Alright, so just write in the comments section whatever charts you're looking to have examined. I'll be happy to take a look at them for you. I'm doing well. Always be positive, be grateful. I like that, right? It's hard sometimes to be positive and grateful, though, isn't it? Not always easy to do that. Alright, well, everybody's starting to make their way in. I know this is a last minute thing, but it's nice that you guys can make it. And those who can't, they'll look afterwards. Let's see how these markets doing. We looked at them last time. We were looking at the SPY reacting from demand. We were talking about that last time. It's been holding quite well, hasn't it? Look at that. And look, comes and tests that area, turns over, and now coming back. What do you think is going to happen if you had to predict? Oh, wait a minute. You can't see nothing, can you? So here it is. Look at that. Hit demand, reacted, shoop, straight up, hit the trend line. Now, those who've been taking our classes would know exactly what's taking place right now. Okay? It's pretty clear what's going on. Because once you know the structures and you know how the banks move price around, it's not such a surprise anymore as to what to expect. Okay? So I want you to pay attention to what's happening here because something very specific is likely going to take place. We got the move down, it hits demand to the T, rally back up, comes back down, consolidates here to the side, and now we're starting to see that move up. You know, just falling short of hitting that descending trend line, and now it tips over, and now look at this. Look what's going on here. Okay? Okay? If I had to guess what the next thing was here, it's likely going to be a break of this area of supply and continuation to the upside. Okay? That is what is looking like. But, of course, we could always take it down to a 4-hour chart and examine things a little bit further. I'd have to do a very deep analysis on this one, but I'm going to do things really quickly just to get an idea. So we have something like that right now. Oops, this area here. I like to see this area get taken out. So if this area gets taken out, if price trades up through this area, we're likely going to get a break of that descending trend line. And we're going to see a big push to the upside. Okay. So that goes for that. Same thing pretty much happening here on the Nasdaq. We got trend line coming down here. Like that. And price is right at the trend line now. Similar situation as with the SPY, right? Came up, fell short of the trend line, came up again, now it's at the trend line. So, break, supply here, probably small reaction to some demand on the lower time frame, and then continuation. That's what it looks like here. Same thing with this one here. This one's a little bit different formation, but pretty much the same concept. Only difference is I'd be focusing on this area here like that. And it breaking through that area. That's definitely what it looks like to me. Okay, so again, watch the lower time frame. Wait for that area to be taken out on the 4-hour chart, and then you have your signals to go in long. That's pretty self-explanatory on that one, right? Pretty easy. You guys all get that? Cool. Let's check out some stocks. Let's see what's going on here. What's Netflix? I haven't seen Netflix for a while. I haven't taken a look at the Netflix stock for a while. What is it doing? Yeah, here was a really nice demand zone created by the banks right here. Institutional area of demand, came down, gave them some time to accumulate, and $640. Accumulation was at $460, now it's at $640. Okay, like if you're a long time trader, if you're a trader that likes to hold for long periods of time, these are the types of trades you would want to enter. You know, you could have bought call options there with you know, a trigger to get out of call options when this area gets traded through, which never took place. And look how well that happened. That played out. Okay, nothing but a big move to the upside. So and take a look here on the monthly chart. Not bad. Not bad. We have this new area of buying from the banks right there. That's where I would be locating their demand, right there. Amazon. Let's see. $3,600. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's incredible. I remember trading Amazon down here in the 500s. That's what I remember. Even before that, 300s. Now it's 3,000. Right? Look at that. Right here. March 2020. This is where all the insider traders were getting in to Amazon. Right here, 1800. Okay. And then, you know what happened since? And now look. Almost doubled. Practically doubled, right? Up here. Insider trading. Nobody knew that what was going to come, did they? But a lot of people were given a heads up to get into Amazon at that point. So Amazon, if you wanted to be a buyer of Amazon, I would be a buyer of Amazon, you know, down this area here, 2400s, give or take, that area, down here. That's where I'd be buying Amazon. I would not be buying it here, because it could consolidate and drop, or it could go higher. You don't know which one. So you wouldn't want to buy at the highs and then, you know, it drop on you. That'd be the last thing you'd want. But if it dropped to the 2400 area, yeah, I'd be buying there. Long term, you know. There's a lot of people that have money and they're sitting in accounts and they don't know what to do with it. And, you know, you don't necessarily have to trade Forex. You know, if you like stocks, trade stocks. But it's about knowing how to get in. Because if you don't know how to get in, and you buy at 3,500 and it goes down here, you're going to be flipping out. That's a lot of money. That's 1/3 of your position being drawn down. So I wouldn't want to do that. So know where to get in. That'd be the area. So you wait patiently until that happens. How do you spell Pfizer? PYPZER. How do you spell that? I forget. Pfizer. No, that's not how you spell it. How do you spell Pfizer? Anybody know? Anybody can spell it for me? I haven't seen PYFZER. No. How about I just figure it out myself? Sure. Spell it wrong and then get PFIZER. PIF. What did I just say? PFI. PFIZER Limited. Oh, what a surprise, huh? What a surprise. 3,000 to 6,000. Doubled in price as well. What a surprise. But look at that. You think back in August 2019 somebody knew something? Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say back August 2019 somebody knew something. I could tell. See, I guess that's one of the beautiful things about knowing how to spot institutional trading, huh? Because you could find on the charts where people were buying and selling. Interesting, interesting. In fact, oh yeah, look at that. October 19, big buying. October 19, that's when the whole Wuhan thing took place. Interesting. Wuhan took place, and then all of a sudden, everybody was buying there. Okay? When it just started in Wuhan, things just started there. And massive buying came in. Massive. And so that was what, 3,000? And it rallied up to the 4,000. And then look, a lot of selling, a lot of buying. Yeah. So there you go. Pfizer. What's the other one? Moderna. Let's take a look at those guys. Same thing. Actually, no. This one was November 2020. So probably when it was advertised that they were going to be bringing stuff in. $70 rallied up to 460. That's just retarded. That is just crazy. Look at that. So it all started in November. So probably it was announced that they were going to get contracts. You think people got heads up on that one there? $74? You wait a year and a half and it reaches next to $500? Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. All right, so what do you guys want to take a look at? Any other stocks? Any other ones that you're interested in? Or we can just look at the ones that we have already on the list now. What other ones would be interesting to take a look at? Walmart. Since they were the only ones that were allowed to stay open, them and some of the other companies, when everything else was forced close. Well, there you have institutional buying right there. Institutional buying, they dipped in, took off. Dipped in, took off. What was that, $104? And reaches 150. That's not bad. 50% return, huh? It's not a bad return, 50%. I should start trading stocks. This was easy. And that was June 19. June 19. You think somebody knew the summer before 2020 came that Walmart was going to be one of the only stores that people were going to be allowed to shop? Because they sure were excited to buy there. And then they came back and bought on August. And then in March 2020, wow. Wow. Look at that, folks. This is what's going on here. So the institutions bought here, okay? But they weren't done with their buying, so they had to wait for it to come back, which they did. And then they waited for it to come back leading up to March 2020. You know what happened then? And then they bought like animals in the 105 range. And they've taken it up to here. Interesting. A lot of insider stuff there. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. And Tesla, I was trading Tesla, yeah, down here when they were cheaper. When I first got into trading, I remember trading Tesla. Here's a demand zone. Look at that. I mean, you can use our concepts for anything, for stocks, anything with candlesticks. I've mentioned this several times, but it's so true. You know, it is just really like that. Anything with candlesticks you can trade. Yeah. Wow, you want to see something else? Pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. This is back in 2020. 2019 actually. Look, this is institutional demand. Look at that. Look at that. Price rallied from the 70s up to the 180s, dropped down exactly to demand, and then it's taken off. Can you imagine buying it right at demand at $72 and holding it? You know, it's at $818. Wow. In 2 years. That's incredible. That's incredible. I really should start trading these suckers. Trade options. I would be buying call options on this. Ones that are way out there. What's the longest call option you can buy? It's been so many years since I traded options. I know they have every 3 months. They have yearlies, don't they? But what's the longest option you can buy? I can't remember. I'm just thinking what would be the best way to trade this. Instead of just owning the actual stock. What would be the best way? I'd like options because I would want to buy and hold. That would be my strategy. You know? And I'd be focused on, you know, putting a stop loss here. And as long as it rallies up, let it rally. You know, and if it goes higher, it'll create new demand and then put a stop loss below there and just let it rally. You know. Russell 2000. Yeah, I used to follow that. Russell. Okay, IWM. Yeah, I used to follow this one. Let's see, let me add that one to my list. Other markets. Okay, so Russell, Tesla, daily nice trend line for up. Yeah. So the Russell's looking good. Whoa, look at that. Very good. Small caps. It's doing really well. Definitely uptrending. And I'd be interested in buying again if it ever comes down to the 150s, 160s area. That's where I'd be buying. Up here, you can't buy here. See, because when it does this, that's consolidating sideways. So what is it consolidating sideways for? Are they offloading positions or are they reloading? You don't know until they make their move. So I would not be trading here. It's the same thing that happened with Bitcoin. You remember Bitcoin? When it was up at 55,000, I said I would not be buying here. Why? Because it could push up higher. How do you know? You don't know until it actually does it. So that's why I wouldn't touch it right now. If it came down, yes, I would, but not where it is now. But it's definitely uptrending on the monthly chart, right? And on the weekly chart, wow, look at this, a lot of sideways action. So I would wait for it to get down there. 160s, yeah. Down this area here. Yeah, that's where I'd be looking at, down that area. Because once price breaks through this area here, that's it. It's very quick for it to drop down to there. Very quick. Won't take much for that to happen. So I'd be watching for that. Let's see. Can you go over Russell 2000? Yeah. Tesla. Yeah, I should be getting myself involved in stocks. Boy, oh boy. I'd be making a fortune. Like serious fortune. Serious fortune. You know, with our knowledge of what's really happening in the world, and the fact that they use, obviously, insider information, I mean, that's for darn sure. You could just be watching the charts, watch the news, watch the charts, and you can spot what they're doing, where they're buying. What would be another company I'd be focusing on right now? All you gotta do is focus on what they're trying to push forward, and it's like what Warren Buffett. Why he's known to be such a great investor. Well, yeah, if you're friends with people who are dictating the future of the world, and they're telling you that they're going to be doing this and implementing that, and they're going to be using these companies to do that, and then he comes in and buys it, and then it goes up over time. Oh, what a genius, right? Yeah, it doesn't take much to be a genius when you're being told what's gonna happen. Let me think of another company that will be profiting. Let me think here. What other company would be profiting? Any ideas? Like testing equipment, genetic testing equipment, surveillance, Huawei. Let's see. How do you spell Huawei or something like that? Huawei. Something like that, right? HUAW. Yeah, I had it close. EI. Okay, EI. Oh, we can't trade them because they're in Japan. Johnson Johnson for sure. I mean, Johnson. You know, when you look at the stocks that Buffett holds, it's all the big companies, right? Johnson Johnson, Coca-Cola, all that. It's always those big companies. And sure, it's always those big companies that are involved in these nefarious things. Okay, so look, you know, I'm looking at Johnson & Johnson. If I was an investor, okay, looking to buy and hold, the first thing I would be able to tell you is that, you know, you can't trade the 4-hour chart, right? Because I'm buying and holding, and this is trending downwards. I can't buy the daily chart because this is trending downwards. The weekly chart it's not even that good too. Okay, I would not be buying this one because it's broken any trend that it had to the upside. Monthly chart, it's better. Okay, this one's a better chart. Let me see. Let me look in their past. Look at that, just keeps on climbing. I would be interested in buying down here, 140s. That's where I would be interested in buying this one. Right down there, this area. for 200s, 300s, and so forth. Okay. Again, 2020 in March. Look at that. In March. Wow. Wow. And let me check out something. Very curious to see this. Very curious. Whoa. Yeah, we had an institutional area of demand here. Okay. Dropped into demand, took off, and then March came, everybody speculated like crazy, came into demand, and then continued. And so that was 120s, and it went up as high as around 180. Wow, not bad. Not too shabby. A lot of people got into that one too, eh? Google? Yeah, I think Google's a decent one. Oops. Let me see. So again, look at these big. Ever since. Okay, who do you think stands to profit from what's happening in the world? I mean, man, it's all right there in your face. In your face. Wow. They dropped Google down in March to $1,000. Let's take a look here. Right down there. Beginning of 2020. And so let's say beginning of 2020, the market was still rallying. The market was still rallying. Yeah, it dropped February 21st. So let's look at Google. February 24th. Okay, it fell with the market. Yeah, it fell with the market. Yeah. And then SPY bounced down here, and that's where, yeah, that was conveniently, I remember, that was conveniently where, what's that guy's, that big investor with the capital, with the white hair. What's his name? Remember that guy? Yeah. He shorted the markets down there and bought down there like so magically. And that was February. So before this whole thing. Yeah, so the whole thing dropped the market. Man, they really pulled a good one. They really knew what they were doing. They used the fear of all the news releases and all that stuff. They used the fear of that to drop price, to give them a good entry. That's what they did. And let me take a look here. I bet you any money. Yes, indeed. So let me tell you about market dynamics. Share with you a little bit. Give you an idea of what was happening here. So we had price up here, 1500s. And so that's the beginning of 2020. So Bill Ackman, that's his name, yeah. Lance Singer, my man, how are you, buddy? God, I missed you. Haven't seen you in class. You still around? Like everybody's asking about you all the time. So February comes. They know what's about to come the next month. They know that. And so the bad news starts coming into the markets. Bad news. And it drops. Now, here's the thing about the markets, right? You don't have to be a wizard to catch the bottoms. You don't have to do that type of stuff. You could take the guesswork. Well, it's not guesswork for us because we know how to get in at the lows. But if you wanted to keep your life simple, you could keep your life very, very simple. If you didn't want to guess where to get in, at the lows, you didn't have to, right? All you have to do is keep track of what needs to be removed for price to continue going in the direction that it was. That's all you really got to do, okay? So in this case, right up here, This is major supply up here, okay? Major supply, meaning, you know, there was a lot of sellers here at this point for Google. So a lot of investors were selling Google because they knew that they were going to be dropping it down. And why would you want to keep a position at 1500 if you can get into that same position in the thousands? So a lot of supply there, which means that if price gets up there, there's a possibility that it's going to use that area of supply to push price lower. Okay, that's what it means. But, you know, as I was explaining in the class that we did not too long ago, we were talking about supply and demand and how those are the two forces that push price along the charts. So it all comes down to which is stronger. Is it the supply that's coming into a market, or is it the demand that's coming into the market? Okay? And I love it, you know, I love it when you sometimes hear traders on social media and they're like, this is a battle between the bulls and the bears. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not a battle between bulls and bears, okay? It's which direction is the banks and the institutions and the hedge funds working in tandem going to push price, okay? You have your lower end investment firms that are not working with anybody. They're on their own, okay? But then you have the big institutions, okay? The big players, all right? All the major banks and then the big investment firms. You know, you got Bridgewater, you got BlackRock, you got so many of them. And these are the guys that are managing money on behalf of the world's super rich. And I'm not talking about, you know, millionaires. Millionaires are nobodies in this game. Millionaires are nobodies in this game. We're talking about billionaires and trillionaires, right? So, no, there's no battle between bulls and bears. It's the direction that the institutions, the big players push price. So it's a battle between the institutional supply and the institutional demand. That's all it is. So when you have more demand coming into a market than there is supply, then what you have created is an area of demand. Okay? So let's say you wanted to trade Google, all right? You got whatever money you've set aside from working, and you've established a little bit of cash, and you're just looking for some safe investment. You're not looking to get in and out of trades, you know. Maybe you don't even want to be a swing trader. Maybe you just want to park your money somewhere and come back a couple of years later and you want to make some nice money. So this is what you'd be doing. You'd be waiting for a situation like this. This was an ideal situation, okay? Ideal situation where all you got to do is watch the charts, know what to look for, know that what you're looking for is the institutional supply to be taken out, and that signals that demand is more powerful than supply. And if demand is more powerful than supply, then you got to locate that supply and use it. Or if demand is more powerful than supply, then you got to locate that demand and use it. And in this case, that's what took place. Okay, buying was here, the 1400 area, and they took it up to about 1700, only to retrace it back to 1400, and then look where we're at now, 2900. So would you have liked to get into this one at 1400? You could have. You could have gotten in right here. And how it works is you would have your stop loss here, and then you'd move your stop loss here to protect your capital, and then you would move your stop loss here, and then you'd move your stop loss here. That's all you do. You just check on your account, see that you're doing well, and then you would be locating the areas of institutional buying, and you just keep moving your stop loss. Then your stop loss would be here. You'd be stopped out there at 2700. So your initial stop loss would be at 1300, and you get stopped out at 2700. Now you're out. Okay, you took your profits and that's it. Because once an institutional area of demand gets overridden, with supply, then what does that tell you? Supply is more powerful than demand. So you don't want to be in a stock if supply is more powerful than demand. You need this dynamic to change before you can ever consider getting in again if you wanted to get in long. So you'd wait for that dynamic to shift and then you get involved. So, you know, if I'm looking at a chart here, this is the chart I'm looking at, and you remember we were looking at the SPY and so forth first. And what did we say with the SPY, right? That it was giving signals that it was going to move higher. But we just noticed that on the weekly chart that there's more supply than there was demand, right? So what we would be watching for right now is we want to see that the banks are coming in with more demand than there is supply. So, you know, you got a situation where you got this happening right now, okay? That's a good sign. You know why? Because I could tell you that there's more demand here than there is supply. And yes, this is on the daily chart. So we were looking at the weekly chart. But this would be your signal, early signal, that price is going to start rallying a lot higher. Okay. So I'd be watching the SPY. Remember that area I was saying? Wait for that to get taken out, and that will confirm. Wait for that area to get taken out, and then you would start buying. And guess what? Your stop loss would go under here, and you'd be getting into your position again. You would have profited very nicely. Now you get in with stop loss down there. And what you're waiting for is this to surpass the highs, and then you move your stop loss again below new institutional demand, and then you just keep on working your way up. And then when the weekly chart creates new areas of demand wherever they are, they could be located anywhere. Let's say that's the new area of demand. Then your stop loss just goes there. And as price goes up, and as it creates new areas of demand, you just keep on moving your stop loss over and over and over until you get triggered out of your position again. Same thing. Just like you would have done here. From down here to up here. Okay? Pretty cool how that works. Man, I gotta trade stocks. I haven't looked at stocks for a long time. I've been so focused on currencies. But yeah, there was definitely some good trading opportunities here. Gotta pay attention. What was the other one somebody mentioned here? Look at Planet Fitness. Why, what's up with Planet Fitness? What happened to price during the big cove? Wow, what happened there? Leading up to it too. Well, it dropped with the market dropping. It dropped with the market dropping. It reacted, and then it went up pretty quickly too. $20. Yeah. Zoom is another one, yeah. Chinese company. Zoom Video Communications. I would assume that's the one, right? Zoom Video Communications, ZM. I think that's it. Yeah, ZM. January 2020, massive buying by the banks. Interesting, eh? Who could have known in January? Well, they were, since October. They were buying from October. So when stuff was starting to be reported in Wuhan, they were like, buy Zoom. They already knew. They already knew. And then again, in January, massive buying. Funny, there was no 2 weeks stay home in January, right? There was no 2 weeks stay home in January. So how the hell did people know to start buying Zoom like crazy starting January? And then February. massive buying. And then beginning of March, massive buying. Wow. I mean, look, it's there, right? You don't have to, I don't have to tell you all the details. It's right there. And look, right now it's hitting an area of demand. Just as the market is starting to show signs of it rallying. Yeah, look at that. And it's reacting. This is an area of buying. Take a look at this chart here. Look at that. See this curl up? This is buying here. This is buying taking place. So, this could be a very good trade for anybody who trades stocks. Let me just locate something here. No, this area here. Yeah, I'd be watching for, something like this to take place on the daily chart. That's what I would be doing. Yeah. We should definitely keep an eye on these ones moving forward. Would you guys like that? If we kept an eye on these ones and just saw and watched to see what ends up happening. I'd definitely like to see how it plays out for sure. Netflix. I'd like to keep an eye on these ones. Netflix. Yeah. I wonder who was buying Planet Fitness when all the gyms were closed. I bet someone knew they were going to close the gyms during. Oh, of course they did. Of course they did. I mean, you just have to read, Rockefeller's Lockstep. It's all there. 2010 report. 10 years prior, a report came out detailing exactly what they were going to do. So, I mean, yes, they know. There's no doubt about it. Nice uptrend here. Nice uptrend here, and I'd be interested in buying there. 580s, 590s. And if that didn't work, 520s, 530s. Those are my two buying areas. That's what I would do. I would wait. I wouldn't buy now at the highs. No way. You wait. Wait until it comes back. Because it will come back. May not be now, but eventually, right? Because again, it can go like that. But then you just locate the new demand. And eventually it'll come back, and then you buy. So don't chase. Because you buy it here, then there's a chance it comes down here. And then you just lost a lot of money. You just drew down your investment portfolio. You don't want to do that. So we'll keep an eye on those ones. Zoom, Amazon, Netflix, J&J, Johnson & Johnson. And what was I saying? Yeah, I'd be buying down here. That's where I'd be buying. We got the trend line. Like that. That's where I'd be putting the trend line. So weekly, I would not be making trading decisions on Johnson & Johnson based on the weekly chart. No. Because as far as I see, it could continue dropping lower from here. It's not likely because the SPY was looking very strong, but Durna. Oh shoot, Durna. devil. 180 and 245-ish if I was a buyer. Hey, let me just double check something. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Anything else you guys want to look at? Tesla, Google, Square. What's Square? I think I've heard of Square, but what is it? Same thing. 160s is where I would be buying. Weekly chart, I would not be making trading decisions off of the weekly chart. Although you could tell that there was institutional buying here. That's already been used up. Contacted a couple times. Let's see PayPal. Curious how they're doing. Oh, they're doing well. Oh, boom again, eh? Since April 2020, massive. Well, a lot of people started, you know, only doing business online. So you need ways to receive cash. I'd only be buying PayPal in the 200s. The weekly chart is already compromised. No good. So I'd be staying away from that. I'd be staying away from making trading decisions off that weekly chart. And be buying only in this area here. So right now is like time for, like, you know, just to wait unless you're already in. If you're in, just, you know, you have your stop losses and stuff. But the SPY looks pretty strong. It looks like it's giving signals that it wants to continue higher. So if that's the case, you know, be careful. Yeah, I wanted to add Walmart too to the list. Walmart, and this one again I would only be buying here, the 120s, because again the weekly chart has been compromised, so I'd be buying in the 120s. If SPY continues higher, then let's take a look at the weekly chart. So I'd be looking at this area here. Okay, so if I want to get involved in Walmart, it would be either buying it here. Okay, it's either buy here, or I'd be waiting for price to come up here, rechase, and then buy somewhere in this area. So I would be buying at 120 or 145s, 146, depending on how it plays out. Under Armour. Oh, wait a minute. Is that the right one? There's UAA, Under Armour? Yeah, okay. Not good. Not good. See, Under Armour is not a big not a big corporation like Johnson & Johnson, Netflix, Amazon, Tesla. You wanna if you want good moving stocks, you buy the ones that just add this here. Other markets. There we go. You buy the globalist corporations. You know, that's what you do. If you're looking to make money, you buy the globalist corporations. Amazon, Google, Facebook. See? you don't want to buy some company that, you know, if they do well, it goes up, but if they don't do well, it doesn't, and you don't really know if they're going to do well because of this and that. No, you go with a globalist corporation, all right? Until the globalists are taken out, those stocks are going to do well. Guaranteed. You don't have to worry about, oh, but will they do well? Like, will they perform well? Like what if the economy is like this? Or like, no. It's guaranteed. Okay. Just ask Buffett. He knows. See, the same thing with Facebook. This weekly chart is it's compromised, so I'd only be buying here 275 area, or waiting for new highs to be created. Same thing with Microsoft. Same thing with Microsoft. This one's even leading the pack, because remember on the SPY we were talking about that descending trend line? You know, it's already leading the pack. It's already on its way. It's already on its way. It's juiced up and ready to go. So I'm looking at this, and I'd be looking at this area here. Its removals, signals, longs. Yeah, so it looks pretty good for a continued move higher. Apple's a good one. Same thing. Actually, we have a nice area of buying here. This is decent. Although I wouldn't just buy blindly there for reasons that we discuss in class. Okay, this type of structure. But I would be interested in looking for signals off that area, that's for sure. I'd be looking for proof that the banks are buying from that area, but that looks pretty decent. That looks pretty decent. 2000s drops. Institutional buying here, retrace to demand, and then jets off. So, yeah, that's what I would be doing. We'll add this one too. Here we go. NVIDIA. What's up with them? What do they make? They make video cards and stuff, but are they doing anything big time? I did hear something about them. NVIDIA. Working on something. What are they working on? Why would anybody want to invest in them? What's the scoop on that one? They're producing something. Producing something. I just can't remember what it is. Anybody remember? Look, it's already responding to demand. This is institutional demand here. It's already responding to it. You see? So we have institutional buying here. At the highs, people got in late. They push price down into institutional demand, and now it's taking off. Daily chart is showing you the signs. They were using the cards some way. So they had some kind of contract or something. Yeah. So it looks like to me that, you know, we get price up here and it starts to consolidate. Stop loss here and ride this sucker up. Chip stocks surge after strong results. Why NVIDIA shares are rising. Get a drop in yields. Yeah, so the key, like I said, to trading stocks is you want to find the big players. I wouldn't trade anything else except for the big guys. And I know, you could say, oh, why do you want to support the globalists? Well, I don't want to support the globalists. But, if my job is to make money, then I'm going to make money, right? And I want it guaranteed as much as possible. So what I would be looking at is I would be looking at what the globalists are doing in the world and what companies they need to push forward their agenda and what contracts they're going to be giving to them, and look at those companies and find the institutional areas of demand. And you don't even have to be a rocket scientist. You could just wait until the news comes out, that the government is giving some contract to someone, to some company for something. And you already know, oh, wow, I see where this is going. And then you just look at the chart, locate the institutional demand that they bought at, and wait until it just comes back there, back to those areas. It's not even that difficult to do that. Very simple. Okay, we'll look at gold, and then we'll end our session. Decent little, what do we have, an hour to chat? Oh, it was quite informative, I think. Hope you guys agree. What are our likes at right now? 11? Can we bump that up to at least 30? Let's do that. So then those that are not here live, when they see it, they can be like, oh, this is a pretty decent session. It got a handful of likes. I'll spend an hour watching this. Okay. SBUX Corporation. Yeah, I'm sure they're doing well. Yeah, I'm sure of it. 2019, big drop in April 2020, same thing. So I would not be making trading decisions based off of the monthly chart just yet. Although if it came down to the $90 area, I'd be interested in buying from what I'm seeing. And let me see. It's inside demand right now. Interesting how it's inside demand and what we were saying. The SPY looks like it's about to take off, right? So if the SPY is going to start taking off, this will likely fuel this one up. But you see how it's lagging? You see on the daily chart we have that same formation, right? Same formation. Microsoft is up here when it comes to the same formation. Microsoft is all the way up there. Look at where it is right here. So it doesn't have the same juice to it, It doesn't have the same caffeine burst as Microsoft does, because it's still down here. So if I was looking for, something that's going to move, I'd be looking at those ones where within this same dynamic, you want to find the ones that are higher. Okay? Because why is the market just about to explode, but it's down here? That's not a good sign. So those are the little things that I would be paying attention to. Gold. So I told you we got supply, institutional supply that's in play right now, so be careful. And plus, I'm not very interested in buying gold until we get a signal. We're looking for a very specific signal, because this chart can go up, it can go down. So, you just got to be careful right now trading this one. It's got no specific direction. So, we'll wait for the specific signal, and then we'll start getting excited about entering. But right now, I haven't seen anything as of yet. All right, what are our likes? Is it getting up there? Hit the like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. So thanks for joining me. I'm going to go outside and do some work on my firewood shed. I had the swimming pool closed today, but I have some things that I still have to do with the solar panels that I have on the roof. Then I'm going to go see my daughters in their ballet lessons. So I'm looking forward to that. And then the plan is to pick up some Chinese food, head home, and munch on some Chinese. So that's basically it for me for the evening. So I enjoyed my time with you today. Thanks for joining me. I enjoyed looking at the stocks. I definitely think we should have like a stock day. You know, we'll leave the or we can just turn Throwback Thursday into looking at stocks and some of the other ones that you guys toss at me. But I really enjoyed looking at stocks, and I'm really gonna seriously consider investing in some stocks. I think I mean, because I see these explosive moves and they were just incredible, so I could definitely take part in some of those moves. All right, so thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.